Hi,
Hi.
baby.
Hi,
There's my
honey.
sweetness.
How are
Oh, I
you?
miss you so much,
No,
baby.
it's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah.
Somebody just told me that LA might be closed through July. Have you heard that?
Oh, yeah, 3 months. They're saying 3 months, actually. That's what
What's to
Gavin.
become of us? I think
Well,
we're, for once, lucky we're so far ahead.
yes, we're lucky because we have a governor who actually took some action and did something.
You won. Hi, everybody. Hi. Here we are from our quarantine headquarters, my bedroom. I gotta change my sheets. There, see my file.
I'm in my
Um,
office.
So here we are. I'm trying to. Oh, I hear a baby crying in the background. Okay, so anyway,
Lucky
all
you.
right.
You get
It's
babies.
the luckiest. He comes every day. It's the best.
My
Thank
grandkids,
goodness.
I see my grandkids like this.
I know. It's the
I saw them
best. Well, one,
yesterday.
we've seen him every day. And two, when the baby falls asleep on you, you can't really go anywhere. So
Right.
that's
Isn't
two
that the
hours.
best when you're trapped? Don't you love being trapped by a baby?
Yeah. So you kind of have to take a deep breath and go, okay. And that's what we really should do in our lives anyway, for God's sakes, right? It's all teaching us to just chillax. I feel like I was always on the go. And now I just have nowhere to go. Was that a deep breath like you're over me talking or what?
No, I'm trying to go with the groove, the vibe that you're creating right now. I'm trying to take a deep breath and just stay with it.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah.
What are you laughing about, baby?
Yeah, no,
So
I
funny.
know. I know. But yeah, I hardly left my house. I like 3 times I've crashed 2 cars the couple times I've tried to leave. I was one of the first days I backed up and totally smashed into Michael's fender in the back, totally on the whole side of his car. And then I borrowed Katie's car, and as I came back, I hit a little short brick wall in my driveway. It popped her tire like a ride at Disneyland. It was like, kush. And Michael said I have to go to like traffic school or something before I get back on the road.
You're a good driver.
So anyway, let's get started on our questions. We sent the questionnaire out, and these are our people's answers.
And before I forget, I have one special question that was requested of me that I have to get in. So don't let me forget to.
Would you like to ask it now before you forget?
No, we can go out. We can go through.
Okay.
You want to start, Mary Beth?
Oh,
No?
well, sure. I get up in the morning. I have to say I sleep later, like 7:30 or something, which is nice. Are you later than that?
No, actually, I sleep a little bit later because I used to get up at 5:45 or 4:45, depending on my call time.
Yeah.
Now I get up around 6:37.
Yeah. And then I have coffee and read. I get both papers, New York Times and LA Times, and I usually sit there for way too long and read the papers and drink my coffee and look at Instagram and watch the old clips of you and me on Patch and Kayla Instagram. Then usually send you a thing saying you were so good back there in 1987.
That's when I was a good actor. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, when you were a good actor. And then I try to get some oomph going and start cleaning my house. I feel like I clean my house all the time and you don't get anywhere. So there's that. Or a little gardening. And then the baby comes over, go for a walk. And my husband he's now kind of gone back to work, but we would go for a 5-mile walk every day. That was great.
Yeah, that's nice.
He'd be baking bread. He was very busy, but now he's back a few days a week.
I love all the pictures of him in his t-shirt and growing a beard and pounding on that bread. I just love those.
It was great. He's never taken time off like that.
I think he looks like he's really enjoying himself.
Yeah, he kind of thought, gee, retirement might be kind of fun, but then he's back at it.
For about 5 minutes.
Yeah, he's back at it. Retirement always sounds good when you know you have a job to go to.
Exactly.
And there's this endless what next thing is a problem.
Yeah, the forced retirement is a problem. Don't like it.
Exactly. Okay, and what about you? What's your routine?
My routine? Well, first thing I do when I get up is I try to get my coffee together before I have to feed the cat. He's at the door, crying like he's starving to death. So I have to feed the cat, get my coffee, all at the same time, sort of, wrangle all that, give him his medicine. He's 20.
He gets more attention than your wife.
She's still asleep. Now wait, I haven't gotten to my wife yet. She hasn't.
Oh my God! Let me not my cigarettes. Yeah.
you know, the high ball and the brown cigarette.
Okay. Yeah, go on. So now
So
we're at
yes, I do
5:45
that.
or
I
something.
do that, and if I don't have a task that I need to get to immediately, I sit in my rocking chair in the sitting room, and I read the news a little bit. I try not to read as much now because it's all, you know what, all the time.
Yeah.
And it's becoming exhausting because nobody has a plan to work all that out yet. And it's starting to make me irritated and a bit angry. So I try not to read too much of that. But then I get to my work, which is now I'm painting the house. Um,
You've always been Mr. Crafty.
a
Mr.
one man paint house painter, it takes forever.
Yeah.
Because
You know
have
what?
so much prep to do
I
before you.
used to paint rooms in my house all the time with the little angle brush, the molding, everything. I mean, so many places I've lived, I've done that, and I am majorly over it. I really don't like doing it anymore. So
Yeah.
good for you. I lose interest halfway through, so good for you.
I always say I'm never going to do it again, and then I start up again, and in the middle of it, I'm never going to do this again.
Exactly.
But then
that's the problem.
my
It's
wife
the
gets
middle.
up. I've turned the coffee maker on for my wife because she's into the espresso in the morning. And we say good morning, and and
How
she
do you
does
do?
a little routine, and I watch her walk around in her jammies, which is always fun. And if we have any plans for the day that we need to do together, we talk about that. If not, we just go about our business, and we generally, we're not together most of the day. I mean, we're in the same location, but we're both doing our own thing, which is great.
Yeah.
So that's about it. And then I always check with Vanessa to see if the grandkids can read a book with me or play the ukulele, or Bubby plays a game with them. My wife is Bubby to them. She'll play a word game with them, and they're always into it, but they're homeschooled now, so we have to work out a schedule. So that's about it.
Yeah.
Just working, and sometimes I go to the market. I go, I've been wearing a mask way before they told.
Yeah, I have a whole box of rubber gloves.
Rubber gloves.
Yeah.
Gloves and a mask. I've been doing it from the very beginning.
Yeah.
And I'm glad.
Grocery stores do stress me out.
What?
No, but grocery stores stress me out. I do wear the mask.
Stressful because there's so many people.
I have a headache by the time I leave.
Who don't social distance, who don't have.
Now, Katie and I went to the market yesterday, and the security, some lady, why people have the mask below their nose is so silly. It makes me want to laugh. But the security guy came up and asked her to move her mask up above her nose, and everything says you have to wear a mask.
Sure. Yeah. Some people just don't care about anybody else, and that also makes me angry. That's why I don't like to go out, because I see a lot of that. Anyway,
all right.
Routines. There's.
I know this is not your routine, but I have to say, I was saying to Mandy that I haven't really gained any weight, but there was a thing on the COVID 15, like the freshman 15. But you kind of night after night, like a little, vodka cranberry with a big extra squeeze of lime. I mean, we used to never drink during the week. Look at you, and so now we had to get back to say, okay, we're not going to do that during the week because it just gets out of hand. You're like, let's have some cheese and crackers and a drink on a Tuesday night. It's like, wow.
I have my candy and sometimes popcorn, because
and then pizza and all the things that you don't know.
Every night I got to watch a movie, or we have our shows to watch. And I'm on the couch. That's kind of. I mean, I'm moving. I'm working all day. I figure I deserve it. I can lie down and eat some candy. But
I don't even go through that whole thing. I just say, yeah, candy.
I hope they give us a few weeks warning before we come back, because I'm going to need to just trim down.
Yeah. Well, plus I told my daughter I'd kind of nanny for her, so I need a little heads up also. I think I know the answer, but what's your favorite candy?
You know the answer? Well, I like dark chocolate, but I've recently found these Trader Joe's chocolate candies. They're like M&Ms, but I'm telling you, they're better than M&Ms.
I was going to say M&Ms.
And they're black licorice.
Yep.
No.
I don't do the black
licorice. It's not like normal black licorice. Oh my God.
I don't do that.
It's so good.
I don't do licorice, but I love.
Folks, don't send me any, please.
Yeah, no, you don't want to fatten him up.
House painting. It's not a hobby.
I'm baking more. I'm getting my recipes out and baking more. And somebody sent me, or I think there was a question coming up, and I'll just answer it now. Do I eat all of my baked goods and stuff? And this is what I tell my husband too, because if you can do whatever you want, there was this great the French girls diet or something. You can do whatever you want, just don't eat very much. So I make everything, but I just try to have a little
That's really the key.
tiny
It's
bit.
Moderation.
Yeah.
It's really the key. Not
right.
You know,
the whole cake that's the problem, but a tiny slice. And I don't sit there picking at it afterwards forever, but no, but and I like the creativity of making recipes. The problem is if anybody's around talking, I can really get off. I can get off on my measurements. You're like, oh, it was banana bread. I forgot the bananas. Damn it. Anyway, continuing on.
Squirrel.
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 Let me go first.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think I always felt when I've been days that I don't work or periods of unemployment, I could never really just sit still. I always had sort of a panic feeling. I need to be moving, or hustling to artistically, like to find a play or to find a thing or do. And this, maybe because we've all had the license to do nothing and not feel guilty about it. I feel like it will actually turn a chapter for me to not be running around so much. Like to just hang home. I like just being home and puttering around my house, and maybe I need to do less like that. Are you rolling your eyes at me, Stephen, like you don't think that's true?
No, not at all. Not at all.
We're watching you the whole time. You know, Al Raven once said to me 1,000 years ago when I first started on Days of Our Lives, he said, you know, you're in the scene the whole time. Even if you're in the background, you're in the scene. So don't lose character over here on your interview. I see you're like looking around, bored. I can see you. Okay.
I look around. Yeah, I have to look around because I need to look around to gather my thoughts. I can't watch. It's like you and your recipes. If somebody's talking to you, it's hard to concentrate and focus on what you're doing, the task at hand.
What's your answer to the question?
Yeah, I think my answer is kind of the opposite of yours, Mary Beth, because I've discovered, because I don't have so many obligations and a job to go to, that it's very easy for me to become a lazy person. I don't have a lazy bone.
I'm not lazy bone Jones.
For a while, you know, and then I get bored with that. But I really love having jobs to do. That's why I create all these things for myself.
Well, I do too. I mean, I have a closet I'm working on or cleaning out or, you know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm in danger of becoming slothful, and I don't like that. I've always considered myself a hard worker, but
I think of you as a hard worker.
I'm starting to feel like maybe I'm just a lazy person. I've got to get my shit together, and you know,
it's a recommitment every day.
Keep busy. It's like the opposite of you. You want to calm down and maybe relax. And also, I've also found that I haven't meditated on a regular basis for a long time, but I'm finding that to be really calming and nice to get back.
I want to calm down and you want to rev up. That's funny.
It helps. It helps me to focus and just to really try to find what is important in this moment. I think it's bringing me back to
now
thinking about priorities and the moment. And this is what we have now. We have the moment. We forget about the past and don't look to the future so much. Stay right here in the moment. This is all we have.
That's all you can do, because I find in this time, and I'm sure a lot of people feel like this, like when you think, oh my God, this is going to go on forever, or I can't go back to the restaurants. And you can feel yourself starting to get a little revvy, and you kind of have to be just like, take it down a notch and just, you know, we're hunkered down. We have to recommit to hunkering down.
I don't want to go anywhere where there's a lot of people around. I think it's dangerous.
Did you see the whole, I'm going to send it to you, but the whole thing that came out about you don't even want to be in the downdraft of air conditioning at a restaurant, because they did a thing where certain people, some guy had it at a table and it was just the direction of the air conditioning. The next people got it, but the people over there didn't get it. And it's like, they're gonna have to set up tables in the parking lots and we're all gonna be sweating our heads off and just eat outside.
All of these things are coming out in increments. you know, oh, and it's not in the air, that drops off after 6 feet or what. Now they're finding, yes, it could, if you're walking down the street and a jogger comes by and he has no mask and he's breathing heavily, you're in trouble if he has it.
I don't know
All
about
these
that.
things are, it's true. All of these
6 feet
things
away,
now.
a jogger 6 feet away. Mm. But anyway,
They
I
call
don't
it
care.
a
I'm wearing
novel
mask
virus for a reason, because they don't know everything about it. They're just discovering. And then people are talking about opening up their states. It's ridiculous.
It's crazy. Going to restaurants.
Oh,
I went to the movies every single Saturday night for like the last 5 years.
mine is the movies. I go to the movies. My wife and I have to
love
drag
going to the movies.
because I go to them literally 4 times a week, sometimes more.
Okay, I only go once a week, but
Love going to the movies. I don't eat popcorn every time, but
I eat a lot of
my
popcorn.
best night at the movies is a medium popcorn with some Reese's Pieces thrown in.
Oh my God. My husband and I, we order the large popcorn, but the theater we go to has free refills. So I'm always like, can I have a box? Can I just refill it right here while we're, then we both like down a whole.
Don't want to interrupt the film. Go refill your popcorn.
Oh, it's out of control.
Anyway, so
Yeah, that's my favorite thing to do.
Our neighborhood theater is like 10 minutes, 5 minutes away. We're there all the time. They know us. That, you know,
I don't know when that's happening. The last time we went in March, and I made my husband buy the last 2 seats in the corner of the theater and purchase the seats next to us, the 2 seats. Well, there was no one in the theater, but like one other person. And I took wipes. I wiped it down. I wore a mat.
We did that too for a little, about a week. Clorox wiped everything and sat
hard
away.
to eat popcorn under that mask, though. Family for sure.
Yeah, number one. I find it during this time I'm more connected to my family members than I've been in a very long time. The ones that I don't speak to as often. I mean, everybody. We're sending out these family email chains of photographs and videos, and everybody sends something like once a week or something.
That's nice.
You know, and I talk to everybody, and I want to talk to everybody. I just feel closer to my entire family and to my friends. And that's great. That's the best part.